Okay, everybody. Some of you have been watching the website, seeing the pictures. This is the radio that we've displayed a couple times in pieces. It's actually coming together now. We're calling it our little blue demon because when the counter came in, it had the blue lights that everybody's freaking out over, and this display is shot anyway, so we ordered a blue 2-digit for it, which is why this is not mounted in the unit yet. So this is what happened. This was a Cobra 2000 that somebody's cat decided to use for a litter box, destroying the radio. We could not repair it. It would never be stable again. And this was a pretty clean radio out externally, so kind of broke my heart to rip it apart, but we did it. We didn't go. So what we did was we decided to make a super AM ass kicker. And that's originally what we called it, was the AM ass kicker. This radio is a straight AM radio, even though it was born a sideband 2000. We gutted it. We refinished the chassis in the silver plate, and then gutted it, and you can see in the pictures, in the picture gallery thing that we put up, the progress that has happened so far. This is what we got at this point. A Cobra 2000 case that the front has been totally redone with black wood grain and polished chrome and blue lenses for all the displays. Now you see the last digit on this is going a little wonky. We are going to convert this one to a 6-digit counter because that last digit never stays stable, and it's going to drive whoever buys this radio up a wall. Something else about this radio is kind of weird. When you key up, the display will go either to zeros or we're going to make it go blank, because on transmit, we cannot find a counter to make this thing properly read, transmit, and receive. And on this radio, it's not a sideband radio, guys, so you don't need transmit, visual, up and down. And really, if it was that serious, you line it up on AM and you go to sideband and you let the counter do what it does. But what it's solely for, like you see, we've got extra channels in this one. There's uppers, and we haven't aligned them yet. There's lowers. This radio is going to go full 40 up, full 40 down. This button right here, see it light up, turns on our 100-watt Stinger board. Yes, this radio is doing 100 watts right out of the ass end. We don't play. 30-amp power supply. Okay, switch mode power supply. Now, for you guys that are going, wow, those are computer power supplies. Oh, okay, that's fine. 30 amps is 30 amps. I don't care if it's meant for a computer or a doghouse. 30 amps is 30 amps. And this little supply delivers me a solid 25 to 28 amps, realistically, of solid 12 to 15 volts, whatever. I set it at with 3 taps, self-protected. You can't beat this supply, guys, not for what we're paying for it. And then we put a Cobra 29 Philippines chassis. Yes, for those of you DX junkies who like the Philippines chassis, that's what we're putting in here. This chassis has a 1-watt dead key, 30 watts of swing. It's been heavily modified. And then on top of that, we added creme de la creme Stinger board. Now this one is not mounted on the bottom cover like we do our normal Super Duty conversions. This one, because we gutted it and it has a smaller power supply, we actually just built this one right into the unit and mounted it nice and neat. And as you can see, the whole inside of the radio, I mean, it's not done yet. Obviously, we've got some wires hanging this and that. There's our echo board, nice and neatly tucked in behind the frequency display. Not hanging out over here by the freaking, a lot of guys that have power in their radios will stick this stuff in and mount it right next to your power and wonder why it squeals. So, no, this radio is not going to do that. This radio will be sold with that over there, Tug 8 D104. It's going to be a 4-pin unit, and it will receive without the mic. Okay. This is the epitome of a parts pile radio. Okay. Granted, we've spent a little bit of money on frequency displays, echo boards, Stinger boards, power supplies, switches, wood grain paint. This is not meant to be a Galaxy or even, a 2000. Although, in all honesty, if you set this one next to a 2000, it's going to eat it alive. Or even a Galaxy 88 or a Saturn. This radio is going to chew them up, spit them out if they haven't been heavily modified. So, I haven't decided what we're going to call it yet, but it's pretty freaking cool, I think. If you're a straight AM guy, you're not going to do better than this radio. And we've been having a lot of problems with guys who have amps that are not high drive, buying Stinger boards, and we do the Stinger board conversion on it, and then they call me a week later going, Well, I burnt my amp up. That's because you didn't shut the damn stinger board off and you got a low drive amplifier. For you guys that have those kind of amplifiers, especially the tube type jobs, we do a conversion that you can switch it back and forth from high to low drive. So that's just something to keep in mind. But this is a total reconstruction with parts that were not meant to go in this unit, but we did it anyway. We dressed up the front. We wanted an 8-digit counter. That's what we bought, but because this chassis is not designed to have an external frequency display on it, we're having to make some modifications. We're having to do some downsizing on the counter so that it displays stable. That last digit is going to drive somebody wonky. Like I said, the sole purpose for this counter is, kind of make it look cool. But really, it's for this purpose. When you get off 40-channel band, you can look at that display and know, hey, my extra channel switch is on. So, and that's something else about this kit. When we bought this kit, it did not fit the panel because the kit was mounted on the switch and the kit came out straight. It was straight, mounted on it. So we took it apart and repositioned the channel kit board to where it mounts up sideways so that we'd have room to mount it in the face of our little Blue Demon. That's kind of what we're calling it, the little Blue Demon, because of the blue display. And I'm still waiting for these magic 2-digit blue lights that everybody's raving about. I can't seem to get the freaking guy on eBay to send them to me. Either that or his mail is really slow, but we're not going to get into that. Anyway, we're waiting for the blue digits for that, and that's going to be mounted in here. We've already put a blue lens in here with a nice wood grain border. This wood grain, I think, just looks super sharp on all this chrome. And what we are going to do is the lid for this unit is a typical 2000 lid like this one. Brown wood grain. This is what this radio looked like when it was born. Well, not like this. Mine has 10-turn high-resolution clarifiers and all kinds of crazy stuff. So this one is a straight AM rig. Don't require any clarifiers. But this is, if your 2000 looks like this and it's dead, well, send it to me. If I can't fix it, we'll gut it and rebuild it for you. Put something else in there that's cool. We do this. I've built a couple of radios like this. Guys are seeming to want them more and more as their older units die. And, looking at the conversions that some of these people are allowing to be done to their radios, I mean, here, guys, if you walk into a shop and a guy grabs a book called Secret CB, grab your radio and walk out because he does not know what he's doing. Okay, if you got to look at a Secret CB book to do a modification on a radio, then you don't understand what's going on inside that radio. And if you go and just cut, a Secret CB book says clip R101 for modulation. Okay, well, that's fine. But if you go and clip R101 and you don't know what it's going to do to the rest of the circuit that it's embedded in, because you don't understand how that circuit works, how do you know if you're doing a bad modification or not? You don't. So all you guys that have buddies and techs that are Secret CB book junkies, drop them. Stop playing with them or tell them to get educated, because that is not a real CB or a real radio technician. Just steer clear of them, or tell them to go to school. I did. Like I said, guys, we're not building these radios and converting these radios to get rich. I'm not doing this as a business. I'm retired. I just like doing cool shit to old radios. And yes, some of our conversions are kind of pricey, but look at what you're getting. This gentleman over here, you can check out our 142 page. The first 142 Super Duty conversion. Okay. This unit is going to be an absolute monster. 30 amp power supply, stinger board, extra channels, echo board, new meters, new PLL chip. That radio is just going to be a beast. But anyway, back to our little Blue Demon. This radio will be for sale. We're going to put it up on eBay. Okay. Before we put it up on eBay, we will do the final premiere video once it's all done, nice and neat and tidy and buttoned up, being exactly the way it's going to be. But this is just a video to kind of get your taste buds wet. Give you an idea of the kind of cool shit we do. Right now it doesn't look like much. It looks like a parts pile radio. That's because it is. And when we're done, it will be, I don't know what it's going to be. We haven't decided what we're going to call it yet, so... Right now it's the little Blue Demon, the Project Radio, and it's we've had it on a watt meter already. It's right now it's dead key in 10 and swinging about 110 right out of its ass, which I think is phenomenal. So for you AM junkies that just like to get out there, shoot skip, run extra channels, and beat up the guy next to you on AM severely with unbelievably loud, clear audio. Check this radio out. It might be something you want. If this radio isn't in your wheelhouse, give me a call. I'll take whatever you got and make it whatever you want. That's what we do. And if it can't be done realistically, I'll tell you guys. And we'll offer you some other options. But I'm not gonna just sell you a conversion to sell you a conversion and watch your radio die in a month. Like I said it a million times. I'm gonna say it again. When you send us these radios, like this gentleman did over here, it needs to meet certain qualifications before we will do a Super Duty conversion on it. We are picky. We are very stringent. I do not work on radios, or I do not convert radios that are not ready for a conversion. If your radio is not ready for a conversion and you send it to me, I will go through it and tell you what has to be done before we can do the conversion. And then if it's something that you feel is feasible, then we will do whatever you need. So welcome to 409 Radios. Welcome to my little blue demon. And I think it's kind of neat. I like it. My wife gets mad because I can't keep them all, but if I was going to keep one that I built, I think I'd keep this one just for fun, just to beat them up on AM. So I'm George, Mr. 409. This is going to be my first totally from scratch offering on eBay. Watch for eBay, and when we post it, we will tell you, and we will tell you what to look for so you can get right to it. And those of you who want a really nice straight AM 100-watt radio that's just going to beat them to death on AM, shoot some skip, roam around on some extra channels. It's a great little radio, guys. It's going to be nice. And the owner of this radio will have a lifetime labor warranty for my shop. And honestly, if anything goes wrong with it and you didn't beat it up, we're going to try to take care of you. Because, let's be honest. Everything on this radio came out of that parts pile. So, when I say parts pile radios on the air, you guys think I'm joking. That radio right there didn't even have a face on it when I started. Now I would lay money it's the most stable 2000 on the face of the planet. My radio never, you see that right there, that 1850? That's a Super Duty conversion. Okay? That freaking counter never comes off a 50. And for you sideband guys, you know how to appreciate that. So, yes, this video is supposed to be promoting my little blue demon, but I've been getting lots of calls and lots of questions. And everybody like, are you for real? Is this shit for real? Yes, we're for real. And all you got to do is, if you don't believe it, I've said it before, get out your wallet and bring your radio up here. If I got one just like it that don't stomp it to death, we'll pay you. Welcome to 409 Radios. Come and experience the 409 effect. We'll see you later.